Hello everybody. Today our lesson is Introduction to the Barrel Pattern. My name's Ike Lynn. If you want to come a little closer, I'll show you some unique things about a barrel saddle. So this is your typical barrel saddle. It has a nice tall horn so you can grab on and use to balance your weight in your fast turns. It has good sized pommels to keep your lower body in its place and balanced with your horse. It has a nice tall cantle as well for the same purpose. It really keeps you sucked in to the saddle. When I say sucked in, I mean it really keeps your pelvis and your seat bones in alignment with your horse so that it keeps you nice and tall and under yourself so you have good connection. Barrel saddles are also really nice and lightweight because it's used for a speed event. The one unique thing about this saddle that most barrel saddles don't have is a back cinch. I like it because it adds a little bit more security to it. A barrel pattern is a clover leaf pattern. You either make one right turn and two left turns, or one left turn and two right turns. Since we're all warmed up and ready to go, I'm going to get mounted and I'm going to run you through this introduction to the barrel pattern. We're going to walk through it first, and then I'll show it to you a little bit at pace. You can notice that I have two orange cones set out. When you're running a barrel pattern, you'll have what's known as eyes, and these are your timers. They're automatic motion sensors. So when you pass, your time starts, and when you pass again, it stops. So these are what I'm using as my eyes today. When you get started and you're coming into the arena, you want to look at your first barrel. Today, I'm choosing to go right, left, left. So when I'm coming in, I'm already looking at that barrel. And I have my body bent, so my shoulders are pointed towards it, and my left leg is slightly back, my right leg is slightly forward, and I'm creating a nice pocket around the barrel. A pocket is the space between your horse and the barrel. You can notice that my right hand is slightly higher than my left hand to create bend in the horse. At this point, you're going to switch directions. You're making two left turns. So you want to switch your body position to the outside of your new turn, and you also want to raise your left rein, or your new turn rein. I'm asking him for that bend, and when he switch leads, when we're at pace, he'll be in more balance when going around the turn. I'm really asking and exaggerating with my body to look at that third barrel so that he understands this is where we're going next. On your way to the third barrel, you're holding that left bend because you're going to make another left turn. Sometimes your horse will anticipate this third barrel and try and turn short. You really want to drive him past before you start making your turn. Asking with bend in your body, your seat, and your reins. At this point, you're headed home. This is your fast part. You really want to give him his head by putting the reins up his neck, and you're going to run as fast as you can all the way through the eyes, which are the cones. When you're pushing him home, as soon as you pass the cones, you want to sit up, drop your weight back, and you're going to ask him to slow down. That means you're going to check in with this left rein and push and bump, and you're going to ask for a nice, slow, lope circle. After you do a couple, you should be back down this manageable speed, and you can ask for a stop. Cool. Good boy, Double. At this point in the lesson, I'm going to have my assistant get up on the fence, and she's going to film me taking a more at speed barrel pattern. So here we go. I'm going to do it at a trot for you. I'm asking for that bend. I'm really sitting hard I got a nice pocket and I'm looking for that next barrel. Switching my weight, I'm looking at the next one, creating the pocket, looking up. There we go. I'm asking to maintain the bend. At this point, I'm pushing it past, then I allow him to turn, and I'm looking home, giving him his head a little bit more. And then I'm going to calm down with a nice couple circles right here in this corner. Nobody's pretty excited. And at this point, you've completed your first barrel pattern. So I'm going to have my assistant come back out here, and we'll take a couple another seconds, and I'll explain some finer details of barrel horses and patterns. Typically when you're dealing with timed events or speed events, you're gonna have a horse that really, really wants to go, which is good, and that's the point. Sometimes you have a horse that wants to go a little too much. So these horses they usually run really flat and really fast. So with those horses, you really wanna check them in. What I mean check them in is you really sit deep in your saddle by rocking your pelvis forward, and you're relaxing your lower spine, and you're gonna ask with that inside rein, and you're gonna bump a couple times, so then he notices that there's a barrel coming up, and that's where we're gonna make our turn. After you pattern a horse, which means you run the barrel pattern enough that your horse understands where you're going next, they might start anticipating. These horses might be known as raters. They'll run rated. That means that they really sit back on their hips and they run upwards instead of flat out. A good mix of these two is where you wanna be. Sometimes you'll bounce between the two. When you have a horse that rates a lot, you really want to drive them past the barrel, because if you don't, they'll start anticipating that turn and then you'll clip a barrel. Barrel pattern, it's a 5-second penalty every barrel that you knock it over. So in a speed event, you really want to manage not knocking a barrel over. I appreciate your time. Thank you for spending some time with me here. Next lesson, you guys will be learning how to mount bareback. Thank you very much.